lost again. And this one did not feel like just another trade. It felt personal. You watched the position move against you while your stomach tightened and your mind raced through every decision you made. You questioned your entry. You questioned your analysis. You questioned why you held it so long. You questioned why you added another contract when you already knew the trade was not behaving the way you expected. And now the market is closed, but the trade is still open inside your mind. So you keep replaying it. You can still see the candle that should have warned you. You can still remember the moment you considered exiting, but decided to give it more room. You remember watching a manageable loss become a painful one. You remember hoping the market would reverse, not because the chart gave you a reason, but because you could not bear to accept what was happening. Then came the shame. You felt embarrassed because you knew better. You had rules. You had a plan. You had already promised yourself that you would not do this again. But somehow you found yourself in the same place, staring at another loss and wondering whether you are really capable of becoming the trader you once believed you could be. Perhaps you have stopped telling people how your trading is going. Perhaps your family thinks you are making progress, but privately you are trying to recover money they do not know you lost. Perhaps you have had a few winning days, only to get the profits back in one emotional afternoon. Perhaps every time your account begins to grow, impatience, overconfidence, or revenge trading pulls it back down. And now you're tired. Not just tired of losing money, you are tired of starting over. Tired of rebuilding your confidence. Tired of saying, tomorrow will be different. Tired of watching other traders post profits while you are trying to understand why consistency seems to come so much easier for them. You may even be wondering whether trading simply is not for you. But before you walk away from yourself, I need you to hear this. A losing trade is evidence that a decision did not work, not evidence that you are incapable of growth. Let me say that again. A losing trade tells you something about the trade. It does not get to define you as the trader. The loss that teaches you discipline may eventually become more valuable than the win that taught you nothing. Dr. O. Right now, you may not feel grateful for the lesson. You may not feel inspired. You may still be angry, disappointed, and afraid. And that is understandable. You do not have to pretend the loss didn't hurt in order to learn from it. You do not have to minimize the money. You do not have to act as though you are unaffected. You worked for that money. You had plans for it. You imagined what your account could become. So yes, the loss does matter. But what you do next matters even more. Because the market has already taken the money. You do not allow it to take your identity as well. Do not let one bad trade convince you that you are a bad trader. Do not let one emotional day erase every lesson you have studied, every chart you have reviewed, and every disciplined decision you have made before this moment. You are not beginning from nothing. You're beginning again with information. You now know what happens when you enter before confirmation. You know what happens when you increase your risk because you feel unusually confident. You know what happens when you move your stop loss because accepting the loss feels too painful. You know what happens when you continue trading after your emotions have taken control. That knowledge was expensive. Do not waste it by repeating the same behavior without examining it. The goal is not to make the loss disappear. The goal is to make sure the loss produces change. So ask yourself honestly. What happened before I entered? Was I calm or was I afraid of missing the move? Did the trade meet my criteria? Or did I convince myself that it was close enough? Was my position size based on my rules or based on how badly I wanted the trade to work? When the setup became invalid, did I respond to the chart or negotiate with reality? When I lost, did I pause or immediately search for another trade to remove the feeling? These questions are not designed to shame you. They are, however, designed to return your power to you. Because when every loss is blamed on manipulation, bad luck, market makers, or somebody else's levels, you are left helpless. But when you can identify the part of the process that you can control, you can begin changing it. You cannot control whether the next trade wins. You can control whether the setup qualifies. You cannot control the amount you risk. You can control whether you chase. You can control whether you respect your stop. You can control whether one loss becomes 5. You can control whether disappointment becomes revenge. That is where your power lives. Not in predicting every candle, not in knowing exactly where the market will turn, not in winning every trade. Your power lives in managing yourself when the market does something you didn't expect. A mature trader is not someone who never loses. A mature trader is someone who can lose without becoming reckless. Someone who can say, I was wrong, without feeling that they are worthless. Someone who can close the position without needing immediate revenge. Someone who understands that protecting capital is not cowardice, it is professionalism. Your future as a trader will not be built on one miraculous trade that recovers everything. That fantasy is dangerous. Your future will be built through ordinary, disciplined decisions repeated over time. One properly sized position, one patient entry, one respected stop loss, one decision to sit out when the setup is unclear, one afternoon when you close the platform instead of giving your profits back, one losing trade that you refuse to turn into a losing week. That may not sound exciting, but consistency is rarely exciting when it is being built. The results become exciting later. Right now, your work is quieter. Your work is learning to wait. Your work is learning to tolerate uncertainty. Your work is learning that missing a trade is not the same as missing your future. Your work is learning to leave money on the table without chasing it into the street. Your work is learning that a stop loss is not the market humiliating you. It is your plan protecting you. You may come from a background where opportunities did not feel abundant. You may have learned that when one door opens, you must rush through it before someone else closes it. You may have experienced financial instability that makes every market opportunity feel urgent. So when the candle begins running, your body does not simply see price movement. It sees escape. It sees relief. It sees a chance to finally get ahead.
Pause. No, seriously, pause for 1 second. If you're watching this right now, it probably means one of two things. You're either trying to make sense of the market or the market just humbled you a little today. Well, first, thank you for being here and watching this channel. That means more than you probably realize. Because trading can feel incredibly lonely. 1 minute you're confident, the next minute price reverses, and you're staring at the screen thinking, what just happened? You study the charts, you watch the videos, you try to follow the rules, but somehow the market still finds a way to hit your stop, shake your confidence, and make you question whether you even belong here. And let me tell you something very clearly. You are not crazy, and you are not the only one experiencing this. Most traders aren't failing because they're lazy. They're failing because they're navigating chaos without structure. They're guessing, they're chasing, they're reacting to price instead of preparing for it. That frustration you feel when price moves exactly where you expected after you close your trade. Yeah, we've all been there. That's exactly why I built this community, a place where traders can stop guessing and start trading with clarity, structure, and confidence. Inside our free community, I share the exact SPY levels I'm watching for the next trading day, the same level institutions are paying attention to. Support, resistance, key areas where decisions actually happen. No fluff, no noise. Just structure that helps you approach the market with freedom and clarity instead of fear and confusion. So if you're serious about becoming a better trader, join our free community using the link in the description. Grab tomorrow's SPY levels, introduce yourself, and let me personally welcome you inside. You don't have to figure this out alone anymore. And if this video helped you even a little, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the community.
That is why missing a move may feel so painful. That is why taking a loss can awaken fears that reach far beyond the trading account. But listen to me carefully. Every moving candle is not your opportunity. Every breakout is not your assignment. Every trade you miss is not money that belonged to you. The market will present another setup. Your job is to remain financially and emotionally healthy enough to take it. There will be another trading day. There will be another level. There will be another confirmation. There will be another opportunity that does not require you to abandon your standards. The trader you are becoming does not have to chase. The trader you are becoming does not have to force. The trader you are becoming does not need one trade to prove anything. That trader understands that survival comes before success, and survival is not a small goal. Staying in the game long enough to develop skill is part of the victory. You have probably heard traders say that you must remove emotion from trading. I disagree. You are human. You will feel something when money is moving. The goal is not to become emotionless. Your goal is to stop allowing every emotion to become an instruction. Fear can speak without choosing your position size. Greed can appear without moving your profit target. Disappointment can be present without sending you into another trade. Hope can exist without keeping you trapped inside an invalid setup. You can feel the emotion and still follow the rule. That is emotional discipline. And every time you do that, you strengthen a new identity. You become someone who can be trusted with more capital. You can become someone who protects profits instead of merely producing them. You become someone who knows that consistency is not created through intensity. It is created through repetition. So today, your account may not look the way you hoped it would. Your results may not yet reflect the hours you have invested. But not yet is not the same as never. You're learning. You are still being shaped. You are still identifying the behaviors that cannot accompany you into the next version of your life. Some habits must be left behind. The impulsive entries, the oversized positions, the desperate attempts to recover losses before the market closes, the belief that more trades automatically mean more money, the habit of measuring your worth by your daily profit and loss. The version of you who needed to be right must now make room for the version of you who is committed to becoming profitable. And profitable traders are not always right. They're simply skilled at managing the moments when they are wrong. So take a breath. Step away from the screen. Review the trade without attacking yourself. Separate what the market did from what you did. Write down what was outside of your control. Then write down what you can improve. Choose one correction, not 10. One. Maybe the next commitment is to wait for 2 confirmations before entering. Maybe it is to reduce your position size. Maybe it is to stop trading after 2 losses. Maybe it is to take a 90-second pause after every stopped out trade. Maybe it is to close the platform once you reach your daily goal. Make one promise that you can keep, then keep it. Self-trust is not rebuilt through speeches. It is rebuilt through evidence. Every respected boundary becomes evidence. Every patient decision becomes evidence. Every trade you refuse to chase becomes evidence. Every time you walk away instead of revenge trading, that becomes evidence. And eventually, you will look back and realize that the loss you thought was breaking you was actually exposing the habits that were keeping you from growing. This is not the end of your trading story. This may be the chapter where you finally stop trying to control the market and begin mastering the person pressing the buttons. The market did not disqualify you today. It gave you feedback. Receive the feedback. Make the adjustment. Protect what remains. And return, not with desperation, but with clarity. Not with the pressure to recover everything, but with the commitment to execute one good decision at a time. You do not need to win it all back tomorrow. You need to stop repeating the behavior that lost it. You do not need a perfect week. You need a more disciplined process. You do not need to prove that you belong in the market. You need to become the kind of trader who can remain grounded while the market tests your patience, your confidence, and your emotional control. I believe that trader is already inside you, not because you have failed, but because you are still here looking for a better way. And people who are willing to confront their patterns are capable of transforming them. Your losses do not have to become your legacy. They can become your education. Your discipline can become stronger than your disappointment. Your patience, it can become stronger than your urgency. Your plan can become stronger than your impulses. And your future can become bigger than this moment. If this message spoke directly to where you are, comment below. This loss will teach me, not define me. Then join our free Trading Psychology for Reparations community, where you can connect with other traders, strengthen your trading psychology, and receive our free SPY levels to help you approach the market with greater structure and preparation. The link is in the description. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with another trader who needs to remember that losing a trade does not mean you have lost their opportunity to become successful. You are not finished. You are being refined. Learn the lesson, keep your capital, protect your confidence, and keep moving forward. You've got this. Peace and blessings, Dr. O.